Wonderful. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the deep stretch workout today. Just a reminder to listen to your bodies, keep some water nearby, and always feel free to ask for further clarifications or adaptations if you need them. Let's find a neutral standing position on our mat, toes forward, feet under our hips. And we're going to start with just some standing side bends. So I'm going to keep that neutral standing position, raise my right arm up overhead from the shoulder, and slowly lean over to the left side. And I will repeat that, bringing myself back to center, raising the left arm up and leaning over to the right side, and just alternating nice and slow, getting some movement started. Make sure we're getting the breath going as well as we do our standing side bends. Start our stretch. Want to warm up the muscles just a little bit. We can always use that hand that isn't reaching up overhead to place on our hip and just guide it a little further. Almost 6 p.m. and 9 seconds. During our side bend. Nice job. Make sure we're getting the breath as involved as well. Taking those big inhales through the nose and exhales through the mouth. Couple more breaths here. Let's go ahead and bring our arms down, shake them out for just a second, and then we'll bring them back up. We'll raise them about shoulder heights, and we're going to do some torso twists, nice and slow, just turning from the hips, turning my chest, head, neck, and shoulders to the left, back to center, and to the right. So slow rotation of the torso. Just preparing the spine, all those muscles around it, to stretch and move a little today. Keeping the breathing going and keeping our glutes tight here as well as we're twisting. On our next breath, let's go ahead and let those arms fall down by our sides. We're going to do some hamstring scoops next. So I'm going to step my right foot out in front of me, heel down into the mat, toes pointing up. I'm going to hinge at the hips and slowly trace my arms, fingertips down, my right leg towards my foot, holding for just a second down there, coming back up to standing and repeating. So getting a nice dynamic stretch along the back side of my right leg. Nice work. Make sure we're exhaling as we reach down into the stretch. See if you can reach a little further with every breath and every rep. And on this next breath, let's step the right foot back underneath our hips. And we'll switch sides, stepping the left foot out in front of us, heel down in the mat, toes up towards the ceiling, hinging at the hips, tracing the fingertips down the left leg towards the foot, stretching that entire back of the leg. Coming back up to standing and repeating. You can take these at whatever pace is comfortable. We want to feel that nice stretch along the back side of the leg. Using that breath, exhaling. As we reach down the legs, see if we can get just a little further. On our next breath, let's come back to standing. Feet back under hips, and let's get them stepped out nice and wide. So I'm going to step my feet outside of my hips nice and wide. Toes are going to be pointing slightly outward, but still forward. I'm going to bend at the knee just slightly. Hands are going to be on my hips. And I'm just going to slowly rock that weight, all of my weight, into my right leg, stretching the inner thigh muscle in the left leg, coming back to center and shifting into that other left leg, stretching the inner thigh on the right leg. And just repeating here with these slow, gentle rocks. If you want a little extra stretch, that leg that is extending, you can turn the toes up towards the ceiling and see how that feels. Nice job. Keep that breath going. On our next breath, let's step the feet back underneath our hips, back in that neutral position. And we're going to go for some arm circles, starting with forward arm circles, nice and big. So pushing my arms towards the wall in front of me, down to the floor, back to the wall, and back up overhead. Let's keep these nice and slow for now. Using those big breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Getting that shoulder to move in its full range of motion. It is a ball socket, so it has all sorts of degrees. And let's go ahead and switch the direction of those circles, taking the arms back now. Still keeping that circle as big as we can. And if you feel your back start to arch, try to engage the abs. Make sure we're staying neutral with our spine, even while we move our appendages. Couple more breaths here. 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Go ahead and shake it out, and we're going to bring ourselves down to the mat in a tabletop position. So lowering myself down, my hands are flat on the mat, my wrists, elbows, and shoulders are stacked. My knees are underneath my hips, planted in the mat, and my calves and feet are trailing behind me. Currently, I'm in a neutral position, so I'm not arching my back or rounding it, but we're about to because we're going to start with some cat-cows. So go ahead, make sure we're using the breath techniques for this one. We'll start with our inhale, arching the back, pointing the nose up towards the ceiling, rocking the hips back and forth, left to right if we'd like. Then we will exhale big through the mouth as we round our back, push away from our palms, and stretch out the shoulders just a little bit, facing our nose towards the mat. And we'll just repeat here. Don't forget to try to stretch those shoulders as we're in the cat position. And I mean that by really arching the back and pushing away from your palms, creating space between the shoulder blades and the rib cage. Taking these nice and slow, just tilting the hips, doing what feels good here. Nice job. Keep the breath going. A few more here. On our next inhale, let's come back to the kneeling position. And we're going to step our right foot out in front of us. Right foot is flat on the mat. And we're going to walk it just a little bit further away than a normal steps width, but still kneeling, lunge position on the mat. I'm going to place my hands on my hips and just slowly sink my weight into that front right leg, stretching out the front of the left hip. So nice kneeling, deep lunge here. And I think it's time for my wig to come off because I'm getting pretty warm. So happy spooky day. Let's keep taking those deep breaths. As I say, with every exhale, see if you can just get a little deeper into that stretch. And we can keep our hands on our hips, or we can bring them down to the mat. We can rest them on our right leg or knee. Whatever feels good to you. Just trying to stretch out those hips, mainly in the front hip flexors of the left hip. Ooh. We're feeling our body release as we hold the stretch. It takes about 30 seconds for that stretch reflex. Done. Couple more breaths here. On our next breath, let's keep our right foot where it's at, but let's shift the hips back and straighten out that right leg, keeping it long and extended out in front of us. And now we are in a runner's lunge position. My hands are still on my hips, or I'm using a wall for support, or my fingertips are down on the mat. Whatever feels good for you, but we're getting a nice stretch along the entire back of the right leg. And feel free to pull the toes towards your shin and point them away. Just a slow, soft movement, but maybe getting a little more stretch in that leg. Keeping our breath rate controlled. Is one of the hardest skills to master, your breathing. A few more seconds here in that runner's lunge. And let's go ahead and bring that right knee back down underneath the right hip. And let's step that left foot out in front of us in that kneeling lunge position. Walking the foot out just a little further if we need to. Hands on our hips, slowly sinking the weight down now into that left leg. stretching the front hip flexors of the right hip. And finding that comfortable hand placement. With every exhale, try to feel that release. We get very tight in our hip flexors from sitting or from stress or from exercise. So we want to stretch it out so we can keep our hips healthy and happy. And I always advise to those of you who might have sensitive knees to place a pillow or some kind of extra cushion under your knee if it's uncomfortable to be down on the mat. Nice job taking those deep breaths. Sinking just a little further down into those hips in this deep kneeling lunge. Nice job. A few more seconds. Go ahead and keep the left foot where it's at planted, but shift the hips back towards our right foot, extending the left leg long, keeping the heel down in the mat. We can point the toes up to the ceiling. Runner's lunge now on the left side. Hands are down on the mat using support or on our hips. But we're feeling that stretch along the entire backside now of the left leg. From ankle to glute. And we're adding that optional ankle pump if we'd like, pulling the toes towards the shin, pushing them, pointing them away. Keep those breaths going. Tapping into that parasympathetic nervous system. And on your next breath, let's bring the left knee back under our left hip. Let's walk the hands out further ahead of us. Widen the knees out to the sides of our mat and slowly shift our hips back to meet our heels. Child's pose. And remembering to use those supports where we need them, if that's extra cushion under your knees. And let's just take some deep breaths here. See if we can walk those fingers even further away from our shoulders, creating space between hips and shoulders and fingers. We may find this is a harder position to really get those deep breaths in, so try to make that your focus. How can I get that breath? And we can rest our forehead on the mat, or we can keep the head engaged between our shoulders. Plenty of options. Let's go ahead and walk our fingertips over to the left side of the mat, stretching that right side of the back between shoulders and hips. Let's walk those fingertips back to center and now over to the right side of our mat, stretching that left side of the back. Couple more breaths here. Let's walk those fingertips back to center and slowly raise ourselves back up out of that pose. And we'll transition into a down dog or a puppy or a dolphin pose. So I'm going to plant my hands firmly on the mat, raising the hips up towards the sky and either pedaling the heels to get one foot flat at a time or keeping both feet flat on the mat, hips up. For the down dog, dolphin, we would just be keeping the legs extended behind us, but down on our forearms. And puppy is arms extended, hips raised, knees are still down on the mat. Just finding what's comfortable for you. Just trying to stretch out those hamstrings. On our next breath, let's go ahead and bring the right knee between the hands and lower it down to the mat, also letting our left leg drop long and extended behind us. And pigeon pose. So we can stay folded over that knee, or we can bring the shin parallel to the top of the mat. Hands are going to be still resting on the mat, or we can drop down to our forearms. Whatever feels good, but we're getting just a slight stretch once again in those hips and in the right glute area. Take those deep breaths. Just try to relax. Feel if your body's guarding or if you have any tension elsewhere. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Feel free to add a gentle rock left to right, if you'd like, just to add a little extra movement. Sometimes I find myself just naturally moving left to right. On our next breath, let's take a big inhale. Bring the hands back to the mat firmly. Bringing that leg back right leg back to meet the left foot. Down dog or puppy or dolphin to wash it out. And now we'll bring the left knee down to the mat between our hands, dropping the right leg down behind us, extended long. Pigeon pose now on the left side. Feeling a nice stretch in the hips and the left glute. And we're coming down to our forearms if we'd like, or staying hands on either side of the knee. Keep those breaths going in through the nose, out through the mouth. We can add that gentle rock if we'd like. Couple more breaths. Good. Let's stay down here on the mat with our bellies to the ground, and we can extend both legs long behind us and stack our arms, left hand over right or right over left, just creating a pillow for our forehead. We're going to be stretching our quads. So we will bring the right heel up to right glute and just holding there, feeling that stretch along the front of the right leg or front quadriceps. We also have the option to reach back with our right hand, grab our right ankle and pull it just a little gently towards the glute to get a deeper stretch. And you may feel the glutes tense and tighten up here. See if you can release that guard so you can get a little more stretch in the quads. Remember to relax the body, take those breaths as we release that quad, or those quads, I should say. In through the nose, out through the mouth. On our next breath, let's release that right ankle back down to the mat. And now bringing the left heel to left glute. Staying there for the gentle stretch or reaching back with our left arm to grab that ankle and pull it just a little closer to our glute for a little deeper stretch. And just getting attuned to our body. Is there soreness? Is it in our quads? Do we feel it now that we're stretching? Did we feel it earlier? Just noticing, taking those breaths, holding the stretch. Once again, if you feel that left or right glute tightening, As you hold the stretch, try to release it, relax it. Really working to expand the rib cage during our breath. On our next breath, let's release that left ankle. And let's bring ourselves around. We'll stay down on the mat in a lying position, but now we will switch to our back. So lying on our backs. And we'll extend the legs long. Keep our arms down by our sides, neutral. So corpse pose. Staying nice and relaxed. Let's go ahead and bring our right leg up to the sky, bending at the knee, or a lying knee hug. We'll bring the right knee into our chest. Give it a nice hug with both hands. Getting a little bit of hip stretch, a little bit of back of the leg. And wanting to keep our left hip planted. Left leg is still long as we're hugging the right knee into the chest. So just doing a little reverse of what we did before. Feel free to add some ankle circles in if you'd like. Just drawing little circles with our toes, mobilizing the ankle to the left and to the right. Wiggle your toes. On your next breath, you can stay where you're at, or you can bring that right knee just slightly outside of your hip and hold it there. Keeping our breathing going, not holding. On our next breath, let's bring the left leg up. So left foot's going to go flat on the mat, knees up towards the ceiling. And I'm going to bring my right ankle to the top of my right knee, letting my right knee fall naturally out to the right in a lying figure 4 stretch. Stretching out that hip, that right hip. And just using my hands to gently guide the knee away from my torso or leaving it where it's at. Everyone's going to feel a different stretch. So find what works for you. You can also leave your hands down by your sides if that is enough stretch. And let's take some deep breaths. Have our torso and shoulders melt into the mat as we're in this lying figure 4. On our next breath, let's release that stretch and let both legs lie out long again. We can shake out the hips left to right. And let's now bring our left knee up towards our chest, finding it with the hands, giving it a big hug. Lying knee hug now on the left side. Stretching out that hip, back of the leg, and we can use those, draw those ankle circles again with the left foot now. Pointing the toes, pulling the toes, just whatever feels good. On your next breath, try to take that knee just slightly outside the hip. A little deeper stretch here. But make sure that right hip stays planted in the mat. Might take a little core engagement there. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. On your next breath, let's bring the right foot flat on the mat, right knee pointing up towards the ceiling. And we'll take that left ankle to the top of our right knee, letting the left knee fall out to the left. Lying figure four, once again, keeping the arms down flat by our sides, palms down, or using the hands as gentle guides. Push the knee away from the torso for a little deeper stretch in that left hip. And let's take those big breaths. Try to melt into the mat. Releasing that tension that we find maybe in our shoulders and our neck, definitely in our hips. Just a few more breaths here. And on your next exhale, go ahead and release that figure four. Let the legs extend long out in front of you again. And one vertebrae at a time, let's slowly roll our spines off the mat to a seated position. We're going to keep our legs extended out in front of us, but we are now going to take them nice and wide outside of our hips. So seated on the mat, legs extended nice and wide, heels down, toes up, and we're flexing the feet. We're going to take a nice big inhale, raising the arms up overhead, and slowly exhaling and lowering them over to our left foot, ankle, shin. So nice wide seated forward fold. Feeling a nice stretch in that mid to low back on the right side. Our QL muscle in our back also tends to get very tight and agitated with a lot of sitting and other activities. So when you can find a stretch that stretches it, it feels really good. With every exhale, see if you can reach just a little further than before. Stretching that back of the left leg and mid to low right back. Feeling that release with every exhale. Let's take our fingertips down to the ground and slowly walk them over now to the right foot, ankle, or shin. Now stretching out that right side of the back and left leg. Sorry, right leg. And if you're not feeling a ton of stretch in that back area, try to slowly and gently turn your chest to the left, kind of opening it up more, opening up the shoulder and the chest. See if that changes the feel of your stretch. Nice job. Keep taking those deep breaths. Reaching a little further with every exhale. On our next inhale, slowly raise ourselves back to seated and bring the legs together, feet together for a standard seated forward fold. So now just taking both arms, reaching down the legs towards our feet, stretching out the backs of both legs and a little bit of our lower back. And once again, just noticing if there's extra tension or tightness anywhere, or if you're reaching further than you have before, or not as far. Our body is constantly changing in response to what we do. So it's important to notice the changes, but appreciate or address them. In through the nose, out through your mouth. Just a few more breaths. On your next breath, slowly, one vertebrae at a time, bring your torso back up to a neutral seated position. Our legs are still extended out in front of us. Let's hug the right knee into our chest now. while we're seated, and either staying here or stepping right foot over left knee for that Barbie on the beach stretch. Hooking the right knee with the left elbow and turning our chest, shoulders, and head over to the right. And using my right arm as a support, either behind me or also hugging my knee with it. Whatever feels good. Feeling a nice stretch in the right glute area. Deep breaths. On your next breath, go ahead and rotate that torso back to 12 o'clock. Release that right leg back down, extend it out in front of you. And let's now hug the left knee into our chest. Staying here or stepping left foot over right knee. Hooking the left knee with the right elbow and slowly turning the chest and shoulders towards the left. Left arm is supporting behind me or hugging the knee in, feeling a stretch in the left glute. Deep breaths in and out. On your next exhale, let's bring the chest, torso back to 12 o'clock and extend that left leg, releasing it, letting it go back out in front of us. Go ahead and find a seated position that is comfortable for you. We're going to do some deep neck stretching. So that can be crisscross or butterfly, or just leave the legs extended out in front of you. That is up to you, what feels good. Let's tuck the hips, make sure they're underneath our torso. Let's roll the shoulders back and down. Shoulder blades are in our back pockets, as I would say. Let's take a nice big inhale, expanding the chest, keeping the shoulders proud, and slowly lower our right ear to our right shoulder, stretching the left side of the neck, trapezius muscle. And feel free to add that gentle nod with your head, chin down to chest, crown of the head to the back of the wall. And just repeating nice and slow. Nice job keeping the breath going. as we release some of that tension that builds up in the neck. On our next exhale, let's bring the head back to center. And now lowering left ear down to left shoulder. Holding here for just a tad as you feel the stretch in the right side of the neck. Go ahead and add that gentle nod if you would like to. Keeping the ear down towards the shoulder, but bringing chin to chest and crown of the head to the wall behind you. And if you feel yourself starting to slouch, remember that good posture, shoulder blades in your back pocket. On your next exhale, let's bring the head back to center. We're just going to do some head circles now. So we'll start going to the left, chin down to chest, left ear to left shoulder, crown of the head to the back wall, and right ear to right shoulder. And just repeating there. Nice, slow neck circles. You might feel a little crunchiness here. Make sure we're going slow, being gentle with our head and neck. And let's switch direction. Now going to the right. Posture check. Is our chest still proud? Shoulders not rounded. On your next breath, we'll come back to center with the head and leave it there. We're going to take our arms behind us and interlace the fingers, opening up the chest and shoulders to the ceiling. And we can rest our hands on the ground or let them float, hover, whatever feels good. But just having that chest opener stretch. Taking our last deep breaths of the day. Well, hopefully not, but last deep breaths of our workout. In through the nose, out through your mouth. Keeping our upright posture and open chest muscles. A few more breaths. And on your next exhale, go ahead and release those fingers and give yourself a pat on your back or your shoulder. Thank you for showing up to our spooky deep stretch workout today.